Alright, so before we take a look at Windows 10, I want to talk about the actual name of why they called it Windows 10 and not Windows 9 or something else. There's a lot of theories, a lot of rumors. Microsoft hasn't said anything officially. Could be marketing, um, which could very well just. Some people have said it's to distance itself from Windows 8 to make it feel like it's a couple versions newer. But there's an interesting article that's come up, and being a developer, programmer, I feel like this actually could have some legitimate reason behind it. So why Windows 10 isn't named Windows 9, and actually it could be because of Windows 95 and 98. Because Windows 95 and 98 often in code, like JavaScript and even some other coding languages, you would actually write code, and I think, is it on this screen? Yeah, I don't think it's on this site. Um, but you would actually write where operating system name is equal to, and people would put Windows space 9 and then a wildcard because it was like, whether it's Windows 95 or Windows 98, it's do the same thing. And so if they did Windows 9 and that old legacy code would run, it would actually run it under conditions for Windows 95, 98. I don't know if that's true. Um, it's definitely plausible because if there is old programs um, that still have that legacy code in them, it could definitely cause some issues, almost like a little Y2K kind of thing. So again, I don't know, but that's my theory, and I think that from a technical standpoint, that makes a lot of sense. But again, it could have also just have been marketing, something like that. Interesting else thing too, Windows 10 isn't really version 10. It's the operating system isn't the 10th version per se. Um, you could debate how many releases there has been, and yes, 10, maybe 11 releases, but Windows NT 4.0 was the last time that the operating system was actually named after the actual version that it is. Right now I'm using Windows 8 um, to film this video, and if you open up a command prompt, you'll actually see it's version 6.3. You open that up on Windows 10, it's version 6.4. So technically, the next version of Windows is Windows 6.4 if you want the actual version number. So at the end of the day, Windows 9, Windows 10, it's just a name, it's what it's called. If you really want to be nerdy about it, it's Windows 6.4. And we could keep going on why they did that versus 6, 7, 8, 9, but we'll save that for another video. So let's jump into the first look at Windows 10.